But my plan always was to do this when I was 50.
Yeah,
So
all right.
the way that I genuinely approach it, which probably is just a mental trick to take the pressure off myself, is almost
Yeah,
I do it with like a 10-year horizon, so that all of my YouTube live stream, it's a Gary V thing. You know, people always
yeah,
give up because they don't have any success in 6 months. I'm not
yeah.
aiming for 6 months. I'm doing this because
That's it.
actually I enjoy the chat. I'm locked up all day every day, but
Yeah,
actually I enjoy talking to people. But I'm
yeah.
actually aiming for a 10-year horizon on a lot of my stuff.
Same, definite. Could not agree more. Like, I think you've got to look at your long-term legacy. So, I think like everybody starts with 0 followers, and over the course of time, like if after a year somebody hasn't got 10,000 followers, they can become kind of a little bit disillusioned. But it takes a long time, man. Like it's taken me now. I was writing the food blog for about 18 months before I launched. I'm probably about 2 years into the food blog, and I'm up to about 6,000 followers, something like that, across Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat stories. I try and use them all to varying degrees, and I'm up to, like I say, 6,000. But that might not be like 100,000 followers, but the audience of the community that I've been building are quite an engaged audience. So, because I've earned them, I haven't went out and paid thousands of pounds for ads and bought new followers. I've earned them by writing content that's helpful about food, that people have seen a recipe and thought, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to share that. Somebody on their friends list has seen the recipe that I've written that somebody shared, and then they thought, oh, I like that kind of thing, I'm going to follow this guy. And because they like food and everything that goes along with it, if I was to go onto my Facebook now and write, what's everybody cooking on the barbecue today? I'll guarantee to get loads of different answers saying, I'm making this, I'm making this. So it's an engaged community. And I think in the long term, that's going to benefit me, as opposed to just splashing the cash and just buying a load of followers, you know. So the way that social media is made, it's basically give everybody an opportunity. Like, no matter what your niche is, you could be, you could start a blog about non-league football, or there could be a cartoon that you like, whatever. There's always going to be an audience for anything that's remotely popular. So anybody can do it. Like, no matter what the business idea is, as long as you're passionate about your subject and you're putting out content that creates value and you're optimistic and you're patient, etc., good things will happen. You just don't know what opportunities are going to come knocking. Like, it's mad. A couple of weeks ago, I got an email that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have been putting all this content out. A hospitality company in London just said, Peter, we're looking for a spice expert. I thought, well, all right, yeah, I've done it for a couple of years. Let's have it. She said, would you do a presentation to our staff? They need training on the origins of different spices. I said, that would be right up my street. I'm all over that. I love to do that. And you just can't predict the opportunities that are going to come. I mean, with that Morocco video that we touched upon, searching for spices, which you can find on YouTube, from that, I got back and I ended up on BBC Radio. It was weird, man, hearing my voice on the radio, but I ended up in the Gazette. I had loads of inboxes from my friends saying, you're in the Gazette. I'm like, I know, I can't believe it. But you've just got to ride the waves and just not be nervous about it and just put yourself out there,
On the social media points, and it was one of my questions, which I've got kind of listed down.
Yeah.
I think, again, a lot of people play at it, but actually, do you want to talk people through what your graft is? Because I think actually telling people what platforms you use, how you use it, how often you do it, and almost the stuff that you do, and then we'll kind of play off that for a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So for an example, right, after we finish this, I need to make a couple of bits for social media. So what I'll do, I'll choose an ingredient, for example. Let's say we're going to talk about tamarind, the spice that you get from the Far East. I'm going to get a picture of tamarind. There's a lot of free sites that you can use. Unsplash is a brilliant site, full of nice free stock photos. It's quite limited, but if you're in a position where you're just starting out and you haven't got the funds to go out and pay a photographer, then maybe find some free stock photos, find some information about it that creates value for people, i.e. how to cook with it. And then what I'll do is I'll post it on Instagram. I'll post it on Instagram stories. I'll post it on Facebook and Facebook stories. I'll slightly amend it for Twitter, and then I'll slightly amend it for Pinterest as well. So we've already got 6 pieces of content going out there. Then I'll post it on Snapchat stories, and then I'll have a think about making a video for YouTube and TikTok. I used to use Tumblr and Peach, but they've kind of died a bit of a death. Have I missed any of them out? Also, LinkedIn. You obviously have to. LinkedIn's very businessy, so you've got to be all official